Hi everyone, and you are welcome to this lecture, Introduction to Variables, Data Structures, and Operators in Python. In this lecture, I'm going to define some important concepts that I'm going to use a lot in this course, like variable and a data structure. Also, I'm going to show you what the available data structures in Python are. We will see what an operator is and what the details are that you have to learn in order to understand how this operator or any operator works. And I will end up this lecture by a quick summary. So let's get started. What's a variable? Variable is a reserved location in the memory to store values, and the value could be of any type, like an integer, a float, a string, or any other supported data structures in Python. The good news that Python is dynamic data typed, which means based on the data type of the value, the interpreter allocates the required memory space, and there is no need for explicit declaration of the variable data type. And this is different from other programming languages like Java, for example, in which you have to explicitly specify the variable data type. Also, you have to keep in mind that we use equal sign in order to assign a value to a variable. And according to this value, the interpreter will understand the type of that variable. Now let's talk about data structures. Data structure is a special variable format defining how to deal with the variable. I mean by deal here, organize, process, retrieve, and store data inside the variable. In Python, like any other programming language, data structure is designed to arrange data to suit a specific purpose. For example, if you want a data structure to define a collection of ordered items, you have to use a list. Whereas if you want to make your data structure as a read-only memory, you have to use a tuple. Tuple and list are two data structures available in Python, and we are going to learn about these two data structures in details in the future, so don't worry if you are not familiar with these concepts right now. Also, for each data structure, there is a set of operators defined to process that data structure. And keep in mind that one operator could be common between multiple data structures. And for each one of these data structures, it could have a different job. Now let's see what the data structures available in Python are. Python mainly supports 6 major data structures divided into 2 main categories. Single item data structures. In other words, when I define a variable of this data structure, it should have only one item, like number. Or it could be multi-item data structures, collections, like string, list, tuple, dictionary, set. All of these data structures, as you will see in the future, have more than one item inside it. Now let's talk in more details about operators. So what's an operator? Operator is a construct represented by a symbol which processes the value of operands to produce the final result. To understand this definition better, let's see an example. Consider the following expression: 4 plus 5 equal to 9. In this expression, we call 4 and 5 operands, whereas we call this plus sign an operator. The operator job here is to add 4 to 5, and the final result is 9. Now let's talk about operator details. For each one of the operator that you will learn about in the future, you have to know some details about this operator, like number of operands. So for each one of these operator, you have to know how many operands you have to pass to this operator in order to work properly. Also, you have to know exactly what is the data type for each one of these operand. Otherwise, you will get an error if you pass a different data type than the expected one. You have to understand also how this operator works. So for example, one operator add one number to another, one operator subtract one number from another, and so on. So you have to understand how it works. And finally, once the operator works, it will give you a result. So you have to understand what is the data type of this result once we execute this operator. Now let's recap what we have learned in this lecture. In this lecture, we have defined what's a variable, and we say variable is a reserved location in the memory to store values. Also, we have defined the data structure, and as we see, it's a variable format in order to organize, process, retrieve, and store data inside the variable. Also, we see that Python supports many data structure, and this data structure mainly are divided into single item data structure, like numbers, multi-item data structure, like string, list, tuple, and so on. Also, we have defined the operator, and as we see, operator is a construct represented by a symbol to process the operands. And we say that we have to know for each one of the operand that we are going to learn about in the future, number of operands it takes, operands data types, how it works, and the final result data type. Thank you very much for your time, and if you are available, join me in the next lecture.